Next out on track, the Pabar VW Challenge. What they don't make up for in numbers, they make up for in quality as well. So Mike Babellia, Class A today, and just before I get into your race, tell us about Pabar a little bit.
Pabar is a metal pressing company. Okay, we've been around since 1966. We work for BMW, for Toyota, for Nissan, for Ford. And we press components, mainly chassis components. We don't do skin panels. So we've got presses ranging from 100 tons right up to 1,500 tons.
Oh, huge stuff. Okay, going to be huge out on the track for you today as well?
Excuse me?
Is it going to be huge for you on the track?
Yeah, we're going to make it huge.
Class A, that's always a tough one, eh?
It is a tough one, yeah. It is our front runners. Not that I'm a front runner, but that's where the competition lies.
You're going to hang in there, and hopefully you're not going to get in the way of the Class B class like Elner Cruiser. Elner, Class B seems to be where all the action is, though, actually, the biggest class.
Yes, Class B has grown quite a lot. Well, it's always been a reasonably big class. I think we had 24 entries just in Class B for this weekend. And I think part of the reason for that is that Class B rules have been the same for a long time. So people all the cars are the same. And they're reasonably cheap to run. We keep as much standard in Class B as we can. And that gives a lot of people the opportunity to come and race. The challenge in Class B really is a challenge because the cars are all the same. So it's about driving the car properly and getting the setup sorted out.
And obviously, grid position, all important around this track.
Very much so. It's difficult to get past anyone on the infield, so your best chances on the straight, on the long back straight. But you really have to qualify well to end up in front.
Well, we wish you luck. Bjorn, Class C. So these are the cars, a little bit slower, but nonetheless, you have a great tussle in Class C. It seems like every single meeting now, Class C, there's a big fight going on.
It's very competitive, and I think anyone could take it this weekend. It's going to be very...
So what's your plan? How are you going to take it?
I think...
Well, let's find out what his plan is right now. We had to cut that interview short because we were about to go racing. And as we go racing here, classes A and C are combined for the Pabar Volkswagen Challenge. Class B will be on their own a little bit later on in the day, due to the fact that I also have a huge field of cars racing here today, as you heard there from some of the top contenders. Mike Babaglia explaining exactly what Pabar is all about. Great to have sponsors like that behind a series that's been long-standing here in South African motorsport, and certainly one of the most competitive categories in South African motorsport. As they get underway now for race number 1. Off the line, Bevan Masters was on pole. Charles Smallberger didn't quite get the start he wanted, as Wayne Masters tries to put the pressure on him. Look out in the background for that BHIT Logistics pink polo flying through from Rory Atkinson's point of view. The champion from last year, starting a little bit further back than what he'd like to, and already putting pressure onto Valdi Mankis as he heads down into turn 2. Class C makes their way down towards turn 1, and it was the man we were just chatting to there, Bjorn Berthold, who had the pole position ahead of Yotti Nusias and Phil Cruiser. And then it's Jan Spammers and Andy Gossman who'll be looking to take each other on there in Class C. Back to Class A. Out front, Bevan Masters looking to try and hang on and keep this pack at bay. He's got the Sabertech car there of Charles Smallberger, being helped out by Universal Motorsport this weekend. And on his tail, Wayne Masters, Rory Atkinson and Valdi Mankis. Names that have been involved in this series in a long way. Whoa! Atkinson off track slightly. A little bit of dirt tracking there. As Dunlop's run like that, that's for sure. As he comes under braking down towards turn number 6. Now we heard from the ZX10R Masters Cup, there was a little bit of oil down here in this little hairpin. So they'll be wary about that, but shouldn't be too much of an issue for the four-wheelers to try and hang on as they go down to the dog bone. Looks like the marshals have worked in between the two heats to try and get that oil addressed and get it all sorted out. There might be a little bit of remnants of it there, and they'll be fighting hard to try and maintain and stay there. Mike Babaglia into the mix though, onto the back end, as you can see. The Pabar car all over Valdi Mankis. Behind him by the looks of it. Great start for the rest of this pack as they come into full flight for the first time. And of course with classes A and C combined here, it's going to be a big fight between Class A's top 5 or 6 and then Class C's top 4 or 5 will be fighting just as hard. Smallberger trying to maintain the second spot on track, but he's got Wayne Masters right on his tail, pushing hard to try and find a way to get through. And Masters is looking for a way through as they go into the chicane for the first time in anger. He went inside and then decided, no, outside line might be better. He's going to try and drive around the outside, hold that outside line, which will become the inside for the second part of the chicane. Perfectly done. And Smallberger keeps him honest. So Smallberger keeps out Masters for now. He's got the inside line for turn 1, which might be good enough if he's good enough on the brakes. Smallberger just surviving, maintaining second place only by a small margin, with some huge pressure coming from Wayne Masters as he watches Bevan get away at the front end. So Bevan pulling a small gap there in that first lap, about 2.5 seconds, unbelievably. That's because these two are fighting so hard for second place, and it's allowed Atkinson to rejoin the party out of turn 5. They come out of 3, heading towards 4. We saw Atkinson try and do something on the last pass out of turn 5, but unfortunately he ran wide, put wheels on the dirt. This time he'll want to try and keep it a little bit cleaner. They're into the triple left there. That is turn 5. Watch for a slightly tighter line there from Atkinson to try and get the drive down on the short straight. Back to Class C. Nice little fight there. Berthold, UT Nasios, and it's Philip Cruiser in the mix there as well. Those are your top 3 as they head towards turn 4. Back to Class A. This is second place. Sabertech Polo taking on the Performance Masters Polo. BHI Logistics, Voldy Monkeys behind that. Then the Pabar car of Mike Barbaglia. Diavolteron not too far behind that. And then Mighty Mfana. Good run there from Mighty Mfana. Already up into 8th place overall. So not a bad run there from the Squadra Courseman. This is the fight for second though. Smallberger hanging on. Placing that Polo of his just in the right spot for now. Not giving any room to play for the Performance Masters Polo to get through on him. Let's see what Wayne Masters has got up his sleeve. They crossed the line, but when they crossed the line, Masters was slightly ahead. But as you can see, Smallberger getting to turn 1 first and maintaining that second spot for the entire length of this second lap of anger. Down towards the chicane. Once again, here's a move on the inside. This time Masters on the inside, trying a slightly different line. This time it might work out for him. He's going to have to be good on the brakes. He might run a little bit wide. Smallberger will come back at him. Going to try and force him, but no. Perfectly placed there from Masters. And slots up to second. So a change up for second. This time officially as he crosses the line, he will be the man in second place. So we've got Masters 1 and 2. Bevan in front, Wayne in second. 2.8 seconds up the road though is Bevan Masters at this point. Bevan Masters hanging on for now. Further back in the packs as you can see. Little Class C battles that have started to rage. Andy Gossman, just getting a glimpse of him there. Charles Anderson's up close and personal, or trying to be there with Gossman. He was in qualifying. He now needs to try and find the race pace. CPS warehouse car out front. Ahead of the Performance Masters Polo, and it's the Sabertech and Universal Motorsport Polo of Charles Smallberger under attack now from Rory Atkinson. Atkinson is watching both the Masters boys get away. He can't afford to let them get too far up the road. Still wants a chance of defending his overall championship from last year. Looking for a way into the dog bone now. Wayne Masters pulling away from Smallberger. Smallberger trying to keep out the intentions being shown there by Rory Atkinson. DHIT Bulk Logistics Polo looking for a way past on that Sabertech car. Can't find it just yet. Loses a little bit of ground in the dog bone there. He was a lot closer coming into the dog bone. He's lost out a bit of advantage there to Smallberger. Now they come onto that back straight away now. Slipstream City is what you need here on the back straight, but you've got to be closer than that if you want that slipstream effect. Smallberger closes, so does Atkinson, but not enough to use the slipstream to get past. They've got to be a little bit closer on the laps to use that slipstream down the back straight if they can get up close and personal with the cars that they're fighting with. In the background there, Mark Barbaglia still fighting with Dioval Teron. He's got ahead of Teron now and has got his sights firmly set on Voldy Monkeys. There goes Monkeys down towards turn 1. How far back is Barbaglia? There he is. Might be not too far behind. So Looks like it could be in a bit of a fight here between Barbaglia and Tehran, and possibly going to close that gap down onto the back end of Valdi Mike. He's about 2 seconds to play with there as well, so also going to turn the wick up ever so slightly. Oh, is that Barbaglia? No, I think it might be the back of the field there. Another one of the Pabar cars. It's the 79 car of Charles Anderson, the second of the Pabar cars, but spinning out just at the back end and coming onto that back straightaway by the looks of things. So Anderson making a small mistake onto the back straight and ended up on the inside of that right-hand turn. Difficult corner to get right that. It's an off-camber right-hander, but the camber actually goes from right to left, so it makes it very difficult to get right on any form of motorsport, whether it's single-seaters, front-wheel drive, rear-wheel drive, or two-wheeled. Not an easy corner to get right in motorsport, but there are a couple of very technical corners here on this circuit. So down towards turn 1. Field head down there and looking for Class C honours here. The fight for Class C certainly heating up a little bit. Yotinusia still continues to lead things out. He's got Philip Cruiser and Bjorn Berthold about a second or so behind him. So it's going to be a little bit of an easy run here for Yotti. In fact, it looks like he's opened up a little bit more of a margin there, and the fight's on for second. Cruiser and Berthold. Oh, a little tap there onto Cruiser, sends him into the grass. Under braking. The ATE brakes man was good on the brakes, but he was a little bit too good there as Berthold came behind him and slammed into the back of him. That might give Andy Gossman a chance. It has. Gossman's gone through to third. So Gossman in some new colours there, all black. Not used to seeing him in an all black car. But Andy Gossman now up to third place, and Philip Cruiser down to fourth. Possible little chat with the COC for that manoeuvre, I think, afterwards. A little tap on the back end there from Bjorn Berthold, and sent Philip Cruiser onto the grass. So let's have a look at that. Maybe have a quick replay of that action as they came down towards turn 6. You could see Berthold was late on the brakes. Late braking coming out of Philip Cruiser as well. Just catching the younger driver out. And there it is. That's all it took. Just a little tap there. And yeah, there you go. Sent onto the grass unceremoniously. But he managed to get back on track. That's Yotti Nusios now heading towards, of course, the start-finish line. And We Fix Cars machine well in control of Class C. No problems whatsoever now. A huge margin over Bjorn Berthold and Andy Gossman. So it shouldn't be too much of an issue there for Yotti to try and hang on. There goes Berthold. So I think we'll be watching the possibilities here of a win for Yotti Nusias by the end of this first heat. Some great fights, as always, in Class A and C. Class B will be out a bit later on, all on their own. There's about 21 cars in Class C, so it's a big field of Class Cs that'll be making their way onto the track a bit later on in the proceedings. So remember, we've also got action coming from Mobile One V8 Supercars. We've got Car Care Clinic, 111 Sports and Saloons, and the GT Sports and Saloons. Super Hatch are here. DOE Formula VO in the house as well. All that action coming to you here on our live stream from Red Star Raceway and the Regional Extreme Festival. Back to the fight at the front end. This one we're picking up just in the background as they close onto the back of Anderson, of course, who fell off earlier on. We're seeing Wayne Masters, Bevan Masters, that's second and first respectively. Bevan leading out Wayne. A big gap down to Valdi Mikey's now, as Charles Smallberger's gone missing. Smallberger's dropped out of this hunt for the podium positions, leaving Valdi Mikey's on his own to inherit that in the Silver Dream Racer. So Valdi Mikey's now has got a huge margin between himself and Mike Barbaglia. Diablo Teron, Rory Atkinson's also dropped back, so must have seen something there between Charles Smallberger and Rory Atkinson. Possible touch between the two of them. Here they come. There is Atkinson, tucked in behind Barbaglia. Diablo Teron's behind him, and he's got Charles Smallberger all over the back of him. So I have to assume, because they were so close, Smallberger and Atkinson must have had some kind of a touch or some kind of an issue together. Down towards turn 3. Yeah, and bumperless front end there of Rory Atkinson. And is there a bit of damage on the back end of the Sabertech car? Barbaglia loses out there to the BHIT car. Diavoltaran trying to keep Smallberger on his outside. But Smallberger will then have the inside line for turn 5. Forcing to run high and wide. And yeah, just sneaks up on the inside and gets through. Now they go down the short straight. Barbaglia, oh, there's the bumper. Or remnants of it anyway. The bumper there of Rory Atkinson's car. Being driven over by the man who's lost that bumper. He's now got Barbaglia on his tail. Barbaglia's got pressure coming from Smallberger. So great battle here for what is 4th place on track. 1, 2 and 3 seems to be wrapped up between the two Masters boys and Valdimankis. But 4th place definitely not done. Barbaglia under pressure from Smallberger. Smallberger wants to get back and maybe return the favour on whatever happened between himself and Rory Atkinson. Atkinson still now pulling away slightly and trying to close the gap down onto 3rd place Valdimankis. Oh, he runs wide again. Rory is really battling to keep that car on track. It's an 8-lapper, this one. So they are running out of laps. They're coming to complete lap number 6. It'll be 2 more to go for them. And this is a 4K circuit, so it's a long lap that they do. And current lap at this stage, 2 minute 14.676 from Bevan Masters is the pace that they're all looking for. That's the fastest that's been done in this race by Bevan, which is why he's at the front. Probably understandably why he's at the front, ahead of his brother Wayne. Valdimankis in 3rd on his own sim, with Atkinson trying to close that gap down on him. Barbaglia fending off the attack once again from Smallberger. The Sabertech Polo looking for a way past. Diavoltaran's behind that. Mighty Mfana not too far behind Diavoltaran actually. Nice to see that maneuver coming from Mighty. Luigi Ferro just behind them. Haven't really mentioned much about Luigi, but he's there too. There he is. See then that light blue Polo. Also with some Performance Masters stickers on the back end of that car, so possibly being helped out there by Wayne Masters in terms of setup. Out of turn 5 they come. And down the short straight. Good drive there from Smallberger. He's got good drive out of the 5 triple left-hander. Is he good enough on the brakes to get on the inside of Barbaglia? Yes, he is. Oh, that's great maneuvering there from Charles Smallberger. Diving on the inside of Mark Barbaglia, and Barbaglia with no answer. So the Pabar car moving 1 position back, and Sabertech up 1. Diavoltaran in the Garin Group car just behind that. So, is this going to be the way it ends up? Looks like there might still be a chance there for that Garin Group car of Diavoltaran's to close down on Barbaglia. And in the background, is that a maneuver there coming from Luigi Ferro? It is. Ferro possibly looking to try and get through on Mighty Mfana. There is 2nd and 3rd place. 4th place onto the back straight now. Bumperless. He's already lost the bumper once this weekend. The pink one's gone. Now the black one's gone as well. Pink is the new black. Or is black the new pink? We have to have a look and see and chat to Rory after this and see what the conditions were that led to him losing that bumper. Might be Diavoltaran into the chicane. About to start the last lap. Last lap board is out. This man's already into turn 2. And now towards turn 3. Perfectly done from the CPS warehouse car of Bevan Masters. He set the pace in qualifying. And he's now setting the pace at race pace as well. Pulling away early stages to get away from his brother and the rest of this pack. Further back, little fights there as well. Class C honors still up for grabs there. I think that may have been Dino Smith still fighting for honors. Right, so as they head down the short straight, that is the man they've all tried to catch. 8.5 seconds up the road there, ahead of his brother Wayne. And no worries at all here for Bevan Masters. clean and clear out front. Up next we go into two-wheeled action. Getting information sent to me that the Sunbet ZXNR Masters Cup will be the next race on track. Charles Smallberger has got back ahead of Rory Atkinson. So Atkinson must have run wide again. He's battling to keep that car on track. Not quite sure what's gone wrong there from the BHIT logistics man's point of view. But he's going to have to do some work in between the two heats to get that car to try and stay on the black stuff. Because it's cost him. Oh, a little wheel on the dirt there from Smallberger as well. So up the back straight away for the last time is Bevan Masters in the CPS warehouse polo. Braking hard down the gearbox into the final chicane. Right, left, right. Checkered flag on standby. Race 1 win for Class A, Bevan Masters. Nice run to the line there for him. Second place. We stand by now for Wayne Masters to cross the line. Foldy Monkeys is going to hang on for third. Here's the fourth place battle. Smallberger, Atkinson and Barbaglia. And Smallberger in the Sabertech Universal Racing car comes through for the fourth spot and beats out Rory Atkinson, Mike Barbaglia and Diego Volteron. Try and pick up on Yachty at some point as well there for Class C. The WeFix Cars Polo still maintaining the lead there. It's a little bit closer. Nice to see Nicole Lombard. First time out for her in the Volkswagen Challenge. Joining a couple of ladies involved in this category now. She's in Class A. There's two lady competitors in Class C. Class B, I beg your pardon. They'll be out a bit later on. Here comes Yachty. Down the back straight away. We chatted to Alna. But of course, Charisse Piazzamusso in the Hot 1027 car will be out on track later on as well. Yachty Nusias, comfortable in the end. The WeFix Cars Polo going to the line and going for the win in Class C. Second place, Bjorn Berthold. And I think Philip Cruz has come back, got ahead of Andy Gossman, and he will finish up in the top 3 overall for Class C. Oh, will he? We'll wait and see. Yes, he will. It's Gossman still fighting hard here. To the line with Jan Spammers. So Jan Spammers is going to be coming through there for the top 5. Nusias, Berthold, Cruiser, Gossman and Spammers, your top 5 in Class C.